Why do men lose in court?
Men do not get treated fairly when it comes to alimony in the court system. Judges are biased against them.
Why people are not getting married now?
Men aren't afraid of marriage. Men want marriage. Men don't want divorce.
The question is, what is the incentive for a man to get married anyway?
If you have a good man in your life, please hold on to him.
I wanted to be with someone that was able to essentially provide for me the way that my father has.
Does anybody want to get married? Like, I need to have kids.
Marriage is a path down to misery in this generation. There's just no benefit. Kindly subscribe to the channel, as it is our sole form of support. Thank you.
Not necessarily bad advice, but Texas is a common law marriage state, so just living with a girl isn't really the best recipe either. If you're gonna move in with somebody, you need a non-marital cohabitation agreement to make sure that nobody assumes common law marriage.
Why don't men get alimony? Because it's my personal belief that the laws are neutral. They're gender neutral, but men do not get treated fairly when it comes to alimony in the court system. Judges are biased against them. They are, and I'm sorry to say it, but that's the truth. In the last 40 years, I have had 4 cases that I remember of men getting alimony that I had to twist their arms in order to get alimony for them.
It's not just alimony, it's custody too. Men are paychecks to these people, nothing more. I don't care. I'll try my best to get it because women are not ashamed to get it. So why should I? The simplest definition for alimony is robbery.
A new study finds that despite women making less money than men, more single women in the U.S. own homes than single men, thanks to a phenomenon economists call divorce.
Divorce.
Why are they laughing?
So I've come to the realization tonight, I'm not made to date in 2023. I don't understand where the hell.
Let it out.
This is going to. I'm not made for situationships, whatever the that means. No, I'm made to be a wife and a mom. I want my man to come home to me. I want to have dinner cooked. I want laundry done. I want to do all that. That's what I'm made for. That's what God made me for. I know people are going to be like, it's 2023. Women don't need to be doing that. I want that. I want that.
It is way too late. This is what happens when you don't appreciate the people that values you in their lives. They always seem to think there's a better option somewhere in the world, and then come found out they actually need their man. They always try crawling their way back once the chads are done with them. She did that man a favor by leaving. He deserves way better.
When was the last time you slept with a physically unattractive guy?
My husband.
He's ugly?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I love him.
Okay.
Mom, how much the ring cost, Mom?
About $150, $200.
And it lasts you 30 years of marriage?
Yep. And I love it.
How do you get there? You know these women be talking about they want $12,000 rings. What'd you think?
True love is you love the person, not the actual material of it.
Ooh, talk to him. Talk to him then, Mom. Talk to him, Mom.
I just got engaged and my lady almost beat me because I spent $2,000. She loves it, but she didn't want me to spend so much because she cares more about being my wife. Yeah, I got me one. That's good for her. Please don't think that should be the standard for all women. Again, we love that for her. It's a reason why she's been married 30 years, $12K. I rather have my partner put that as a down payment for a house. I'm trying to build, not have someone be in debt for a ring. Good for your mom, but me personally tell her I want the $50K one. What these women fail to understand is that the price of the ring doesn't matter. The ring is there as a reminder of your commitment to your husband or wife. Spending $200,000 on a ring just for a 30-day marriage is just crazy. The more expensive the ring, the more likely she's gonna leave you. All of these women asking for $20,000, $50,000 rings. But none of them have that kind of money in the bank, yet alone $50.
Hey, is it actually true that a guy treats you how he wants to be treated first, and then he starts treating you how you've been treating him?
It's absolutely true. Men are a product of their environment. So if you're a kind and nurturing person, he will be protective of that person and kind and nurturing back. If you're the other way around, he will find that person that he desires somewhere else. That's the way it is.
That is 100% true. Just like Mr. Construction stated here, we put in 100% at first, then we match efforts. I don't do husband stuff to receive roommate treatment. Absolutely true. Even when we initiate, we expect some initiation back. The less we get, the less we give. Yep. We set the scene and lead. If you don't reciprocate, we realize we're being used. So we match your energy to protect ourselves. Very true. When I'm not being treated the way I treat them, no matter how much I love her, I'll walk away.
I got no kids, I got no man, I'm 27 years old, and it's like, I don't know where I'm gonna end up. Who's gonna be my man? Who's gonna be my husband? Like, where am I gonna be in 5 years from now?
Have you guys ever cried for no reason?
Yeah, hell yeah. Yeah, oh, yeah. For no damn reason.
What was going on in your life at the time that just tears just started falling? You're like, what the f is wrong with me right now?
You know, sometimes you cry about things like, you look at your age, and sometimes I cry like, I've cried like...
Attention ladies, here are 5 tricks to keep your man happy if he's working 50 hours a week. Have dinner, bring him a beer if he's on the couch, and use that morning wood like it's supposed to be used.
When a man wants to get married, he's only getting married truly for one reason. Because let me be honest with you women, the men can work and provide for themselves. He does not necessarily need you to cook, clean, and have sex because he can get sex from multiple women. They're giving it out. A lot of them can cook and clean. Their mother taught them, or they can pay someone to get it. The culture is telling them, do not get married. So why would a man go past what the culture is telling him and choose to have a wife? Because with a wife, you can now have love. You can now have nurturing. You can have support. You can have affection. This is what he can't get from a roommate. So if that is not what you're leading with in your relationships with men, is love, support, nurturing, and respect. This is why your husband is now pulling away, because in the beginning you gave him those things. But as you got into the relationship, you got bitter, you got resentful, you start seeing his flaws, start counting that against him, you start measuring him against other men, and now you're pulling back on the love, the affection, and the nurturing.
A lot of women hate this kind of message because they hate the truth. Whenever a woman is speaking up on men, they always seem to get angry. The only thing I see modern women today bring in a relationship is just more baggages and headaches. Most of them don't actually know what a man wants. There's a reason why I say choose peace over misery. Dealing with some of these women will only hurt you more in the end.
Does anybody want to get married? Because I need to get on this. Like, I need to have kids. I need to get married before my grandparents pass away. And I also need to have kids before my dog passes away, because he's a really good kid dog. And I'm running out of time. You guys, it is hard out here. So applications are open. If you want to. It'll be hard, but I'm fun.
Marriage has no benefits. Couple years later, she leaves and gets paid to do it. No thanks. Wasted your time chasing Prince Charming. Now you're desperate. When you find a good man, you'll feel as if you settled for less. She is a walking red flag, all right. This is what happens when the clock starts ticking for these women. They start getting desperate. They start wanting to settle down, trying to have kids. Unfortunately, a lot of modern women have this realization coming their way. They think going out to the bars and smashing multiple guys is fun. But the fun that awaits them is crying on social media, storming up public places to try and locate a husband. They honestly do this to themselves. If these women actually cared about being married and getting with a good man, their actions would reflect it.
Your husband is a good guy, but you're ready for divorce? You're not a bad person.
This is some of the worst advice I've seen. One of the biggest problems that we're facing in a society today is we think peaceful, good relationships are boring. This has to do with our own past traumas, where when you're constantly living in fight or flight growing up, that's what you expect, and you self-sabotage when you're in a good, peaceful relationship. Oftentimes, people who go on to leave a good person to just be free and look for excitement end up regretting it big time later. Because when they do start going to therapy and getting the help, they realize that person was somebody they could have done life with. And every relationship gets a little bit boring. And it's choice to get those feelings and excitement back. Do not leave because you're bored. Do the self-work and find out why.
Sad to hear dependable husbands are viewed as disposable items. Boring and predictable are not bad. Just ask any abused spouse. The mindset that everything, including relationships, are disposable, temporary, is one of the problems. Great advice from you, because the other person is leading people astray. Long-term marriage takes effort and work. Put in the work. Why are there no good men? They ask. Companion love, not infatuation love, where it's a drama and dopamine-feeling roller coaster, is the love type that lasts for decades. Soon, marriage will be for a small group of people that try to live right. Marriage rates will continue to drop, and that's why good men refuse to get married. It's over, ladies. We are done with the games. That woman is a divorce coach. So keep in mind that she has to lead women astray for her business. The saddest part is that these women that are in these marriages don't see the value in their man, that they have to listen to a woman that's been divorced twice telling them to divorce the good guy. People just don't have sticking power anymore. The vows have no meaning anymore.
So I have zero shame in telling a man that after 3 months you are paying my bills. And if you're not, bye-bye.
Oh, I can hear the hearts just breaking from here.
There's 7 billion people in the world. If you can't do it, somebody else will. So I have no shame. I'm kind of sort of trying to find somebody to bring me food every once in a while. Like, talking to a guy and I said, yeah, after 3 months pay my bills. And he said, no.
That's not surprising at all, because it sounds like that man actually has some self-respect.
Like, a guy knows. Like, oh, if I really like her and she's not crazy, yeah, I would pay her bills. Maybe I threw it out there too soon.
Maybe you just shouldn't have thrown it out there at all.
Men don't understand the investment and the benefit and how we're trying to make sure that we're not getting played. I can't help you, men. Don't talk to us. You're not the one. We're not talking to brokies.
Fortunately, not all women think like this. But unfortunately, it is the ones that do that tend to speak the loudest, and are the main reason that a lot of men are choosing to remain happily single.
Bro, if my girlfriend came up and said we've been dating for 3 months, pay my bills, I'd be like, I'm not your money tree, and leave her. I don't want a gold digger in my life. I had a wife like this. She tried to have me arrested when I asked her to get a job to help with the bills. Divorced her. Happy now. 5 years with a 1977 car I'm restoring. Life is great now. I'm single because of my own standards. I'm not dating her if she doesn't have her own place, car, job, money. I'll just be single, I don't mind. I actually had someone ask me to pay their bills to get a second date. Yeah, I walked away. My husband and I dated for 2 years before we moved in together. The bills were mutual to 50, and they still are 30 years later. If after 3 months you've been dating a woman And she said, you need to pay her bills. You need to show her the door. The only thing you would gain by doing that is add more bills onto the ones you already have for yourself. She mentioned benefits and trying not to get played. But who's really getting played here? The man who's taking care of your bills and his at the same time for nothing in return? Or the leecher who just expects her needs to be taken care of without giving nothing in return?
This has gotta be one of the craziest scams I've ever seen. Recently, a 35-year-old woman from China was arrested for being married to several different men at the same time to get money from them. Although a couple of years ago, she had been married to just one man and even had a daughter with him, since her husband was always busy with work, she eventually decided to start trying to meet new people. When she realized just how easy it was to start dating new guys because of her good looks, she quickly realized that she could actually make a lot of money by pretending like she wanted to get married to them. And since she always told each guy that she couldn't actually register their marriage since she needed to remain single to be eligible for house compensation, she was able to hold a private ceremony with each guy without them knowing that she was already married. By hiring new actors to attend each marriage ceremony as her friends and family, none of the guys suspected a single thing. Over the next few years, this woman split her time between 4 different husbands, constantly hiring new actors to help her sell her elaborate story to each. Somehow, none of them ever realized what was happening until she told one man that she had twins with him to try to ask for money, but failed to provide proof. This man finally understood he was being played and called the cops, who arrested her. In total, she had scammed almost $100,000, and she faces a minimum of 10 years in prison.
That's not enough time.
5 ways to be a fantastic wife or girlfriend and prevent your man from ever cheating or leaving you. Okay, ready? Here we go. Number 1, always, I repeat, always have dinner on the table. When they get home from work, your man is hungry. You need to make sure food is ready for him. And if you don't live with him, make a plate and bring it over. Okay? Number 2, always take the initiative, right? Take the initiative for being intimate. Your husband or your boyfriend should never have to beg you. You should be satisfying his sexual need daily. And if you're not, you need to step it up. Okay? Every day. Number 3, do your man's laundry. Come on. It's the least you could do. It's your responsibility as a woman. Do his laundry. Okay? Take the initiative. Don't have him ask you. Don't get mad at him because his shirt's dirty. Do his laundry. Number 4, clean his house. Even if you don't live together, go over and clean his house. Make sure his house is always clean. If you want to be there and you want to be in a clean house, well, clean it. And number 5, give him some peace and quiet. Okay? He doesn't want to come home and listen to you nag. He wants the house to be positive and fun and uplifting, and sometimes just to be able to relax. Doesn't want to hear about the drama, doesn't want to hear about you complaining. Okay, so keep his belly full, keep the house clean, keep him satisfied, and you'll keep a happy man. You're welcome.
And these are the most basic things that a man is asking for. But in what world today is a man getting such treatment from a modern woman today? That man would have to be the luckiest man in the world to have such a woman by his side. This kind of treatment is only a dream most men wish would come true. But ultimately she's not wrong though. This is truly the way to a man's heart. It's really crazy how they ignore married women's advice, but take single women's advice. Hopefully they wake up and realize they need to switch sides.
If a guy really wants you, he will pursue you, and nothing will stop him from that. I don't care if you think it's his religion, his parents, his job, whatever. Stop it. Like that, none of that matters. If he loves you, if he values you and wants to make a life with you, he will go after you. That's how they're wired. Women try to complicate it. And we go, oh, it's complicated. It's got a lot of different things going on. No, women are complicated.
Men are not in this area. And we've heard it from so many people, but I think we still need to hear it. We make excuses for it because we can't bear the thought that they didn't want us. But at the end of the day, it's much better to face the truth. And the truth is, they didn't want to commit to you enough because they didn't pursue you, and then you can let it go and move on.
Pursue, don't chase. Fight for what you want, but don't lose yourself along the way. If they're worth it, you do whatever it takes. You pursue or chase someone because they are running away from you. If she like me, she will reciprocate my energy.
I agree.